Okay, let's get started. Everybody on their feet for the warm-up. Good job. So make sure that you've got 2 tin cans with you to use as our weights in a moment, just to add a little bit of extra effort there. Good job. Let's find our base. Let's find our grounding to start with. Feet out to hip distance, shoulders back and down, neck lengthened up and away. Good job. From here, we're going to start with shoulder rolls. Start nice and small, nice and slow. As we wake up through the shoulder joints and through the chest and the neck. Make sure both the hands are working together in parallel. Try not to let one side lead before the other. Making the range of movement a little bit bigger each time. And moving into arm circles when you're ready. Keep the knees nice and soft in between. And then add a gentle stretch and reach. Last one here, and hold. Let's take it the other way. Bring the shoulders forward now. Bring those elbows in as well. And add the arm circles. Last one here, and bring the arms round. Now we're going to step forward on one foot, and we're going to stretch up the back of the leg behind us. So lean forward into the front knee, keep the heel glued down behind you as you push through and enjoy that lovely calf stretch. Keep the upper body nice and straight. You can lean forward over the knee, but don't bend forward. And switch sides. Bring the other foot forward. And release. Now we're coming to the side bend to work the inner thigh. Bend the knee to one side, take the hands to the hips. Keep those hips forward, bend down. And feel that lovely stretch all the way through the inside of the straight leg. Back to center and then over to the other side. And back to center. Now we're moving into the side bend. So feet back to hip distance. And then bring the hand up and over the top of the head, stretch and reach down to one side. And then extend and lengthen in the middle, and then stretch and reach over to the other side. Keep it nice and tight, make sure you don't bend and fold forward. Keep the hand directly above the head. Extend and lengthen in the middle, one more to each side. And lengthen and over. And relax there, good job. Now pick up your tin can weights, and we're going to add some arm work into the warm-up. So tucking the elbows into the side of the body, feet and knees to hip distance, knees nice and soft and grounded. We're just gently going to draw up in a bicep curl. So lower the cans and then lift. Now, if you've got any weaknesses in the wrists or the elbows or through the shoulders that mean that the weights aren't going to work for you, Just leave them to one side, don't worry. Equally, if you've got some hand weights at home and as we build the strength, you want to increase the weights, that's absolutely fine as well. So make sure you control the lower as well as the lift. Don't let the arms just relax and drop. Control them on the way up, control on the way down. Good job. Here we bring the hands in front of the body and then lift and extend just to shoulder height, hold it there, and then control that lower, again, squeeze together. Lift and use the outside, the top of the arms, squeeze nice and slowly, nice and controlled, push together to work underneath the arms. Try and stay relaxed in the neck and the shoulders to allow the arms to move freely. Good job. Last one here. Now we're moving into our squats. So now we're going to bring the hands forward as we take the bottom back and bend the knees and lower into a squat. And then slowly raise and bring the weights back to the hips. And again, the back is nice and straight, neck is lengthened, and it's nice and controlled and placed as we move. Just a few nice, carefully placed squats. So feet are at hip distance. And the knees are going out together as the bottom sits back down as if you're lowering onto a chair. One more here. And stop. Good job. From here, we're going to bring the hands forward and turn the hands over. And then keeping the arms extended, we're going to draw the hands into the shoulder and then lengthen away. And again. Again, just really carefully feel the muscles working. Take your time as we build the strength here. Good job. Again, if it's too many repetitions for you, just do what you can and then take a break. Bringing the weights down now, we're going to move into our balance. We're going to use the weights in our balance move. So we're going to step onto one foot. We're going to make sure it's really nicely grounded. The knee is soft. All of the weight is going straight through the body into that foot. Then we're going to take the other foot and gently extend it behind us. Bring the hands forward with the weights to counterbalance. And when we're ready, breath in, draw in the core, and then gently lift and extend the leg behind you if you can. If balance is a challenge for you, then bring the toe back down. And again, just gentle lifts and lowers, holding it as long as you can each time, okay? Or just lift and hold. Lengthen through that leg, through the top of the head. And lower. So bring it back and switch sides. Transfer the weight, make sure all the weight is nice and balanced first. Then bring the other leg behind you. Balance first. When you're ready, engage the core, lift and lengthen through. So the weights work really nicely to help us with a little bit of added stability here. Good job. And lower, well done. And our last one here with the cans is to bring the cans down to the floor and place them in front of you. If your floor is very slippery, then pop them on your mat. We're just going to walk forward and take the toe. And we're gently going to roll the foot over the can, nice and slowly, applying pressure gently down all the way from the heel, underneath the foot, and under the toes. So we're working through the muscles of the foot, helping to release tension and pressure that builds up. We often get knotted muscles in the bottom of our feet that lead right the way up through the body. Nice, relaxing exercise here. And again, about controlling those leg muscles in order to keep that can hopefully in place. And return. Last one here. Push through and lift. Well done. And transfer to the other foot. Lift and lower. So all the way, bend those toes back and then slowly push through the foot and lift the toes at the end. Last one here. Good job. And relax. Take your cans, put them to one side. We won't need them again for this session. Well done. We're going to come to the end of our mat. We're going to roll down, roll back up, and then we're going to come down on our mat and focus when we're down here. Okay, so roll ups first. End of the mat, feet to hip distance, shoulders back and down, neck lengthened up and away. Breath in, engage the core. As you exhale, drop the chin to the chest, roll the shoulders forward, and slowly and carefully roll down, one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slowly. And extend and lengthen the body. Feel that stretch through the spine with the weight of the arms, the heads just hanging freely. When we're ready, take a breath in, engage the core, and slowly change the focus to restacking the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Taking the shoulders back and down, lengthening the neck, up and away. And again, breath in, engage, exhale, chin to chest, shoulder rolls forward. Last one here, so take your time and enjoy that lovely opening stretch. Feel it all the way up the back of the calves, up and over, all the way down the back and the neck. And this time we're going to walk the hands forward and come down onto all fours. Release the toes. Little cat stretch here. Breath in, engage, lower the head, push and arch the spine up towards the ceiling. And slowly lower and control as we bring the spine back to neutral, back to flat back here. And again, breath in, engage, arch up and away. And then lengthen and find neutral. Well done. Good job. We're coming back to seated, and then we're going to make our way down to the floor, and we're going to work on our backs, and we're going to do our setup down here on our backs this time. So the knees are bent and the feet are at hip distance apart. The arms are relaxed down beside you on the mat. We're going to start with our pelvic alignment. We start with switching that on. So we're going to start with a pelvic tilt. So we're just going to rock just the pelvis and the hips backwards and forwards on the mat. Pushing the spine down into the mat and peeling it up and away. I want you to feel and exaggerate the curve in that lumbar spine, that lower spine, as you push it down into the mat. And then in order to align it, I want you to imagine that the pelvis is a compass. In order for the compass to work, we need to make sure it's nice and level, not pointing up towards the north or down towards the south. So just slow it down a little bit at a time until that tummy is flat and level and that compass is in position. And the lower spine is gently curved from the mat, not pushed flat or fully arched, just halfway between the two of them. And that's our neutral spine position. Shoulder stabilization now. Breath in and draw those shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze them up there. And then on the exhale, gently roll them down the back. Take the shoulder blades and push them down as if you're heading down towards the back pocket of your trousers. As far down the back as you can get, and then relax back into that neutral spine. Hold it there. Let's switch on those TVAs. Let's imagine we're going to pull on a nice tight pair of jeans. We've got them on, now we've got to do them up. Let's take it all the way to notch number 10 as we just gently squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Squeeze and switch on all those abdominal muscles and hold with that belt tightened to notch number 10. Squeeze and hold. And relax. Let's try notch number 5 on the belt. Squeeze and hold just halfway this time. And relax. And finally notch number 3, just where it needs to be. Just a gentle squeeze of the abdominals to hold them in place and switch on all those amazing support muscles. Let's get the pelvic floor involved now as well. So imagine we're zipping up the jeans. As we're zipping up the jeans, I want you to squeeze and lift, squeeze the muscles inside, up, 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 all the way to level 10. And relax. And to level 5, gentle squeeze. And relax. And finally, just level 3. Just zip to level 3 and hold it there. That's the level of engagement we need to support us while we're working and while we're doing our exercises. Good job. From here, we're going to move on to the single leg lift, our first exercise, to wake up the lower back and the abdominals nice and gently. So we're just gently going to bring one leg to right angled knee. So the knee is directly above the hip, the shin is parallel, the foot is relaxed. And we're going to hold it here. Then we're going to make sure that the core is engaged, tummy is drawn in, pelvic floor is engaged. And then we're slowly going to lower the leg, keeping that right angle. Imagine there's a little tennis ball wedged under the knee. So keep that right angle as we gently lower. Don't take it very far to start with, just a little way, and then control that return back to right angles. Make sure it doesn't come back into the body, just above the hip. And again, and challenge yourself perhaps to lower a little bit further this time. But just imagine that the foot's on a little cloud, lifting up and down, nice and gently, nice and slowly, nice and smooth. So control that lower, control that lift. Good job. While this leg is working nice and hard, don't forget about the other leg. The supporting leg likes to drift out to the side. Make sure this is our anchor. It stays nice and square, nice and still while the other leg is moving. Okay, one more here. If you do lower your foot towards the floor, it never touches. Okay. This time we're going to lower to the floor to finish that leg and move over to the other side. Breath in, engage, hold that engagement while the leg is moving. And the same on the other side, right angle, slowly lower. Start small and then build up, taking it further away, but it never touches the floor. Only just hovers above it. It's important to work the smaller distances first because they're switching on a different set of muscles lower down in the abdominals, and as we lower the leg further, then we engage muscles further up the abdominals. It's important to make sure all of the groups get strengthened. Good job. Last one here. And return it to the floor, all the way down this time. Well done. Gently draw the knees into the chest and give them a good hug. Well done. So we're going to move now into our double leg stretch. And from here, we're going to work on circling the arms while we hold the legs still. So adding that extra element of challenge. So we're going to start, you've got two options here. You can work this with both of the feet on the floor, just engaging the abdominals while we move the arms. So this is your level 1, okay, with no leg involvement at all. Level 2, for a little bit more of a challenge, bring one leg up to right angled knee. Engage and anchor it there. So the leg has to stay still while the arms are moving. So the hands are directly above the shoulders, pointing up towards the ceiling. Palms are facing each other. Imagine that you've got pencils on the top of those fingertips, and we're gently going to circle. Now both of the hands come in together towards each other, and then they circle out away from each other. They move very slowly and very controlled. And the circles that we're drawing this week on the ceiling are about the size of dinner plates. So this is about control and strengthening. So the arms are getting some work, the shoulders are getting some work, and the abdominals are working really hard to hold that leg up. Now keep going in this direction. And then hold it here. Let's lower the leg down, switch sides, and then we'll go in the other direction with the hands, with the leg lifted. And circle. So the fingertips are extended and reaching up towards the ceiling. And the neck and shoulder is nice and relaxed. And that leg is working really, really hard to stay as still as possible. Good job. One more circle here. Hold it here. Keep the hands extended, lower the leg, control that lower, keep that bend in the knee, take your time, and then lower the hands down to the side of the body. Good job. Full body stretch, legs nice and long, arms nice and long up above you. Stretch and reach. And just relax there for a moment. Well done. From here, we're going to move into our bridge. So we're going to be working on mobilizing the spine throughout and also working on strengthening that lumbar spine. So same start position on the back. So just gently draw the hands over next to you on the floor. Feet and relatively close to the bottom here, and then the knees are bent, and as always at hip distance for this exercise. Relax the shoulders underneath you. Again, just draw those shoulder blades down underneath the body as if you're tucking them into the back of your jean pockets, and relax them there. Good job. So we're going to start with just the pelvic tilt. Draw in the belly button, draw in the pelvis to start. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're ready to move. And we're just going to tilt the pelvis backwards and forwards, really building on that lower back, strengthening and mobilizing. We're working to separate the vertebrae, so they often become bunched up together in the lower back, and often several different muscles that are supporting get weaker and the bigger ones take over. We're coming back to those individual multifidus support muscles, and we're mobilizing, stretching, and as we move through the exercise, we're then strengthening. So after a few pelvic tilts here, we're going to take the bridge up. Breath in, engage, exhale, pelvic tilt first, and then peel away, lifting the vertebrae one at a time off of the mat. Push those hips up, up, up towards the ceiling. The key is keeping those hips level. So imagine there's a spirit level across the hips. They have to stay level at all times, when they're up and when they're moving up and down. We hold it here for a moment, enjoying that lovely stretch. And then we take a breath in, make sure everything's engaged to support. And then really focus as we bring down the spine. We imagine that there's an individual pocket for each vertebrae down on the mat. Place them each back in their own little pockets, one at a time, all the way to the tailbone. As soon as the tailbone touches, we move back up, thinking about that spirit level, keeping those hips nice and level, nice and stable, pushing up nice and tall. So we end up with that lovely straight line between the knees, the hips and the shoulders, and a gentle curve of the neck. And hold it here. Now, if you're happy just rolling up and down, your level 1, that's great. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, your level 2 here is to bring both hands parallel, slowly past the hips, trying to keep them nice and level, nice and still. Lengthen and extend the fingertips directly above the shoulders. Hold it here and then lower the hands. As they come down, don't let the hips wobble, don't let the hips lower. The hands come down to the mat, and then we concentrate on that curl back down all the way to the tailbone. And again, one more here. Breath in, engage, pelvic tilt, curl to bridge. Lift and hold, and either bring it down again or add that arm, lift, extend, challenge. And as we lower, those hips are going to want to come down with the hands. Don't let them. Keep them in place. And then slowly and controlled, place them back down on the mat. Well done. Good job there. Gently draw both of the knees into the chest and give them a good hug. Well done. Well done. Stay on your back there while we move on to our abdominal preparation exercise. Okay. So it's really important that we train the abdominal muscles right the way through the core here to support us when we need to lift the head and the shoulders. In this case, it's from the mat, but during everyday life, we rely very much on our strong neck muscles. If we can get the abdominal muscles to work with us as well, then we'll have less strain on the neck, okay? So relaxing the shoulders down, the hands are placed just gently on the lower thighs. It's really important with this exercise, we get into the habit when we lift the head and shoulders that we stretch and reach with the hands and we try and pull ourselves up using our arms. It's really important not to do that because again, all of the pressure is going through the neck. We want the abs to do the work. The hands are just gently coming with us. Leave that bend shape in the elbow as you come up. Don't lengthen and lock out the elbows as we move. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a breath in, Engage the abdominals and the pelvic floor. Then we're gently going to curl up the neck and the shoulders, and we're going to lift them from the mat if you can. Try not to stay too low, otherwise the abdominals can't work. Try and draw up. Look through the knees. The hands can gently drift up the thighs just to encourage us in that lift. Breath in and then lower. Now as we lower, don't let the abs relax until the head and neck are finally down on the floor. Now if there is any tension in the neck, which is likely to be when you're first starting out with this exercise, just gently roll the head side to side to release any tension before you go again. Unless you have any big neck injuries, it's really important to persevere with this exercise and build this strength. Okay, breath in, engage, gently curl the chin. We've got a little walnut underneath the chin, so the chin is tucked in, but not entirely to the chest. The eyes are looking forward, and then relax back, but keep those abdominals engaged. Don't let them relax until the head and shoulders are back down. And again, a few more in your own time. Relax through this. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Breath in, engage. Take the ribs towards the hips. Think about these abs squeezing to lift, and use the breath. Exhale as we come up. Little inhale. And then exhale to come back down. And again, inhale to prepare. Then push the air out of the lungs as you squeeze them. In that lift, little breath in. Exhale to lower. And we'll leave it there for this week. Well done. Just relax out of that one. Good job. And we're coming on to our side for our next exercise. Good job. So now we're moving into our side kick. So we're going to have our head on our hands, as long as that's comfortable. Any issues with the shoulder here, you can relax down onto the mat if you want to with the head. Make sure that the body is nice and long. And then we're going to bend the knees forward. It's important they come forward of the body. So the feet are in a straight line with the spine. So if you just look down, check that your feet are straight down from your spine, and then the knees are bending forward. So the rest of the body is in a nice straight line. This top hand is down on the mat, top shoulder is relaxed. Good job. So from here, we're going to extend and lengthen just the top leg and just relax it down onto the bottom to start with. And make sure that hip is staying stacked. Tempting for the hip to come forward and backwards here. Keep it stacked and in place. When you're ready, breath in, engage the core and the pelvic floor, and lift up to hip height, no higher. From here, make sure the upper body's relaxed. The core is engaged to support, and then gently drift the foot forward. As we come forward, we flex the toe. As we gently bring the leg back, we point the toe as it comes a little way behind us. Now the distance that the leg travels will depend on the core strength and the familiarity with the exercise, okay? So when you're starting out, don't move it too far. If you find you're fishtailing, so the foot is coming forward and the body is bending forward, you're coming back and the back is moving backwards. The core must be absolutely still, so reduce the range of movement. Make it a little bit smaller, a little flex, a little point. It doesn't have to be a big move at this stage. Flex and point. Feel that hip flexor working. Feel those leg muscles strengthening. And again here, forward and back, and point and lengthen the whole time. Keep the leg long and stretched away from you to engage all the muscles throughout the leg. Last one here, flex to come forward, point to go back, back to center, hold, and then lower. And then bend the knee up to match the other, and you can draw them even closer just to relax here. You can come off the hand if you want to for the relax as well. Good job. Well done. So just relax there for a moment. So that leg is obviously worked out throughout that exercise, and we're also working our obliques here. We're working the muscles up the side of the body, up the outside of the torso, helping with that lift and lower and forward and back. Well done. From here, we're rolling onto our tummies for our swimming. So to start with, the hands are just coming underneath the head. The feet and the legs are extended nice and long, straight out from the hips at hip distance. And we're going to start with the legs, then just the arms, and then we'll see about combining them. Okay. So the key with the swimming exercise here, to get the benefit of that core strengthening, is to draw the belly button up off the mat. Place an imaginary grape underneath that belly button and see if you don't squash it throughout the exercise. Try and keep that tummy drawn up off of the mat. That will engage all those core muscles to work throughout. Okay. So to start with, just the legs. You relax your head onto your hands. I'm going to keep mine raised just so you can hear me. Breath in, engage. Make sure that grape is in place, and then lift and extend one leg just to hip height, and control to lower back down again. It's only a small lift. Same on the other side. Lift and extend just to hip height, lower. Same on each side. Feel that control of that placement. Feel the lengthening throughout the legs, switching on all the muscles. And lower. Good job. Now we're going to add the arms. So we're going to leave the legs, relax them there, just the arms now. So we're going to extend the arms directly forward from the shoulder, and the forehead comes down onto the mat. Then as soon as we start working, we take a breath in, engage, and then we draw the head up so the nose is hovering an inch off of the mat, and we keep it there if we can, lengthening through the top of the head to hold it there. Then we gently lift and lengthen the arm on one side and then lower. Now your key challenge here is your shoulder stabilization. You shouldn't be rocking from one side to the other. The neck and the shoulder stay level and flat. If you can, keep your head lifted throughout. And I hope you haven't forgotten that. Great. Keep that belly button drawn in and up away from the mat to support. Same again on each side. It's very slow, it's very controlled and precise. And lower. Now, your next challenge, if you want to, is opposite arm and opposite leg. Breath in, engage, make sure the grape's in place. Stretch, lengthen, one hand and leg, opposite, up, and slowly and controlled, and lower. Keeping the hips and the shoulders level throughout. And lower. Keep the eyes looking down towards the mat so we don't strain the neck. And one more on the other side. Lift and lengthen and lower. Good job. I'm just going to leave it there for this week, but you can build up the number of repetitions, the number that you can do, and how long you can lift and hold. And really work on keeping those shoulders level and still, and the hips level and still, while the arms and the legs are working alternately. Well done. Now we're going to roll onto our other side to do the side kick on the other side. Make yourself nice and long to start with. Find that shape. Use the front of the mat as your ruler. Then bring up the head onto the hand if you're comfortable to do so. Bend the knees forward, keeping an eye that the feet are in a straight line with the spine. Relax the upper body, engage the core. Think about these lovely oblique muscles down the side. They're going to be doing the lifting and control. Lengthen and extend the top leg so it's balanced on the other foot. Breath in, engage, exhale, lift just to hip height. And always remember, so flex is going forward. So the toe draws up towards the head to come forward. And as we come back, we point to go behind. And again, just slowly and controlled. Really extend through that leg. Push through the heel as you're flexing and push through that toe as you're pointing. And make sure that that upper body, all of that torso is staying still. It's not fishtailing backwards and forwards as the leg is moving. Good job. Really extend and lengthen that leg to get the maximum amount of muscle work out of the exercise. Last one here, coming forward, back to center, gently behind, not too far, back to center, lower, and then draw the knee up and bring both knees up. Good job. From here, we're coming up to a seated position when you're ready. Okay, last exercise. Going to have a little bit of fun with this one. So we're going to work now on working those core muscles, especially those lower abdominal muscles. I'm going to do it a slightly different way to how we have before. So we're going to work on our balance. So make sure that you're sitting on your sitting bones to start with. So move any fleshy bits out of the way. You're going to need that. You're going to be sitting up nice and tall, lengthened throughout. You're going to bend the knees as you draw the feet towards you. Keep that hip distance. There's still that gap between the knees. You're going to place the hands behind the legs, and we're going to move into what we call the seated balance. Okay, we're going to have a go at least. So from here, we're going to take a breath in, make sure the core is engaged. We're going to tilt the pelvis, allow it to tilt for the back to come backwards. As we gently curve back, relax the shoulders, relax the grip on the hands, we're gently going to walk the feet back until we find the balance point that allows us to just gently lift the toes from the mat and balance here. So we're squeezing and holding with those abdominals. We're lengthening through the head and the neck, and just gently hold if you can. If you need to lower and reset, squeeze the abs, relax the neck and shoulders, gently try and hold that balance, and try and hold it a little bit each time. Squeeze and hold. Good job. Lower the feet down now, walk them a little bit away, and sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to go one more time, last time. Hands underneath, but don't grip with dear life. They're just placed there for a bit of support. Relax through the shoulders. Walk the feet back, curve the spine, lay back into that deck chair, and then gently find that balance. Looking forward beyond the feet, beyond the knees, straight forward. Really relax the shoulders. Eventually, we won't need the hands at all. So just gently placing them. Breathe. And lower. Bring the feet down, walk them away, and relax forward, bending over the body to release that work. Well done. So I'm sure you can feel it. You can really feel the work there with that seated balance right the way through those lower abdominals. Really good effort. Well done. So we're going to stretch it out now. We're going to start with our mermaid stretch. So staying in the seated position, we have both of the legs opposite out, and then we bring one leg across as if we're about to cross our legs. But we take the other leg round the outside to make that lovely shape. Straight across and then straight back with the other leg. Naturally, you'll be leaning to one side to start with. We need to sit ourselves nice and tall. Open up those hips and really extend through the spine. If you can't get to this position, you're still finding yourself leaning over, pop a block underneath your bottom or roll up a towel and place it underneath to give you that extra height and movement through the hip so that you can move freely through the stretch. From here, we extend the arms out to the side. Gently lower the hand to one side, bring the other hand directly over the head and stretch over. This is our little mermaid stretch. And now we're being the waves washing over the mermaid and over to the other side. The stretch will be much freer on one side than the other. That's absolutely fine. That's what we want to do. We want to stretch through those hip flexors and over. So take your time with it. And back to the center. And then if you can, the knee with the leg that's in front of you, just gently fold down towards it, just as far as you are comfortable. And just relax there for a moment. And sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to switch sides. So extend the legs out in front of you again, then place the other leg across the front and draw the other leg round behind. Sitting up nice and tall before we stretch. Extend the arms and up and over. Extend and lengthen in the middle. And again, up and over. Extend and lengthen, one more on each side. And release. Good job. Bring the other foot back round, and then we're going to place our feet together. From here, we're just going to gently encourage them, bring them as close as is comfortable towards the body. Then we're going to take the elbows and just gently open up the knees to stretch the inner thighs. You might find you need to come forward slightly to help and increase there, but don't fold down. Keep the back still extended and just bring the chest forward to allow you to do that. Good job. From here, just release the feet to a nice comfortable position. Just make sure that both sides are mirroring each other as we stretch through the shoulders. Link the fingers, stretch and extend nice and long with the hands. Start with just the arms reaching and then lower the head in between the arms and stretch and open up the shoulder blades even further. Lift the head and lift the arms to reach up above you. And then release the hands, bring them behind you and stretch and reach behind you. Good job. From here we release and we're coming onto our tummies and we're going to move into our cobra stretch. So we're going to tuck the elbows down beside us and the hands down underneath the shoulders. Forehead starts down on the mat. Breath in, engage, and then gently lift the head and then gently lift the eyes and the neck just as far as you are comfortable to gently stretch through that lower spine. Hold it if you can. Make sure those shoulder blades are down the back, not all bunched up into the shoulders. And then lower and relax. Draw the hands in front so the head can rest there. And then last stretch, we're going to draw the foot directly up towards the bottom and squeeze it as close to the bottom as we can get it. If you want to extend the stretch further and you're able to, you can grab your leggings and just allow that leg to come a little bit closer, or the calf, or the toe, and just gently draw it. Wherever you're at, if you push the hips down towards into the mat, that will increase the stretch also. And gently release and lower the leg. Same on the other side, gently draw in the leg. Push those hips down towards the mat. And release and lengthen. And now I want you to find a nice comfortable place on the mat. Turn the toes gently towards each other to release the leg muscles and just find a comfortable place to relax. I want you to feel all the muscles you've worked melting down into the mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just take a moment here to totally relax. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're ready, gently make your way onto your side. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly make your way onto all fours. Making sure that the knees and the feet are at hip distance before you tuck the toes under. Walk the hands back and slowly roll up the way we came down. Relax the shoulders back and down. Lengthen the neck up and away. Arm circles to finish. Deep breath in to come up and out to circle. In to come up and out to circle. Last one here. Stretch and reach as high as you can. Bring the hands round the prayer and give yourselves a clap. Well done, everybody. Good job.